Watching right now, this is the replay and we are no longer live, but welcome. This is going to be a new type of video. We're going to do some Q&A. So if you missed the live and you're watching the replay, please feel free to ask any questions in the chat and I will reply to them. Similarly, the link to my new Amazon storefront will also be in the description box. So I'm just going to wait for all my TikTok friends to jump on and then we'll get started. Hi, you guys. Happy Thursday. Hey. Hey, Coral. Hey, Janice. I'm good. Hey, KB. Hi. Hey, Kelly. I'm sorry I missed some of y'all jumping on. Yes, I'm feeling much better. Thanks. I had crab legs Monday night and then I thought that it was a good idea to have ice cream after that, and it was in fact not a good idea, and I paid for it all of Tuesday. Hey, hi. We are not making anything today. We are going to do something a little bit different. Hey, yeah, I'm feeling better, thank you. I know, right? Crab with butter, obviously, and then ice cream right after. It was not a good idea. Oh, good. I'm glad, Laura. Yeah, it was terrible. Okay, so today we're going to do something a little bit new. I'm not making anything today. Today, I have left an hour open for Q&A. So anything that you want to ask me, I just started an Amazon storefront. So if you go to my website and if you click on the menu and then click on DIY, there's going to be an Amazon storefront. I'll show you guys. And all of the tools that I use, webbing, hardware, some around the house stuff. I know a lot of people ask me where I get certain things, and I can tell you, but this is going to link you directly to what I use. And I've used it and I like it, which is why I'm sharing it. So none of these items are just items that I picked out and thought you guys might like. I actually use them. Thanks, Karen. My phone's powering up and then I'll show you guys how to get there. So we're going to just open it up. After I show you guys how to get there, I'm going to open it up to any questions that you guys might have about where I get anything. I mean, you can pretty much ask me anything. Will you upload? Yes. Yep. I'll upload this to my YouTube once we're done. And I'll also link in the description where to go to get my Amazon store. Okay, so let me go to the website. I'm just going to show you guys one time and then you can watch it again on the replay. Hi, Amber. All right, so from the home page of my site, you'll want to click on the 3 dashes at the top. Oh, it's over here. And then under DIY, let me see if I can do this backwards. And then Amazon storefront, and then right here, if you click on this link, it'll take you right over there. And then I have it sectioned off around the house stuff, shipping, hardware, tools, webbing, etc. So you can go to each one of these, and then these are the actual products that I buy for my finished goods. So you can go in, you can shop, see if you like something that I've used, or if you've seen something that I've used and wanted to buy it. A lot of it that I buy from Amazon is linked here. All right, so I'm just going to open it up to any questions that you guys may ask. There's certain things, a lot of things that I buy that I don't get from Amazon, but I'm still happy to tell you where I get them from. I shop a lot at Wawak, WAWAK.com. So for example, my pattern pieces, let me go grab one real quick. So whenever I purchase a pattern and I know I'm going to be making more of it, I create my pattern pieces out of a plastic chopping mat. So I used to buy them at the dollar store. We don't have a dollar store here anymore. So I was able to find some on Amazon that are exactly the same. They're actually a little bit taller. That's linked in my Amazon storefront. So if you want to cut out your pattern pieces like this, you can go to my Amazon storefront, find the link to purchase these, and then you can cut out all your pattern pieces. And I swear they last forever. I don't think that I've ever had to replace a pattern piece. Hey, Nikki. How do you cut the pattern without cutting the mat? So when I cut these, I use scissors. I cut these out using scissors. So if you can tell on the edges of them, there's like a black mark. I use a Sharpie to trace it. So what I would do, let's say this is the pattern right here. What I would do is take the pattern, print it out on just regular printer paper. I would lay this chopping mat right on top of it, and I would outline the pattern piece, and then I would take the outline and cut it out with scissors. I don't know, it keeps freezing. Is that the same for everybody else? Are you guys freezing? No, she means when you're cutting the fabric, how do you keep from cutting your template? I draw. So I would take my fabric, whether it's vinyl or whether it's cotton, and I would try to get the back of the fabric, so the back of the vinyl, the wrong side of the back of the cotton. And what I would do is just outline it with a pen, and then I would use my rotary cutter and I would cut it. Zipper overlays, yeah, that's a good idea. Oh no. When you make your purses, do you use the same color bob and thread as you do the top thread? Yes. Yep, whatever my top thread is, I always use the same color for my bobbin. So I have, this is also linked in my storefront, how I store my bobbins. And so I usually have one of every color of the larger spools that I have, so that I have the coordinating color of thread. I can't get your link to Amazon storefront. So you want to go to my website, click on the menu with the 3 dashes, and then click on DIY, and then click on Amazon storefront. Do you sell big molds? I don't sell molds, I'm sorry. Hey Tara. Oh no, it's freezing. Let me see if I can pause it. Okay, hopefully that helped. If not, you may want to back out and then come back in. Okay, what else? And then like the straight pieces, I normally just write on here what I have to cut. And then I don't have to draw, I just use my rotary cutter to cut them. I don't see any comments, so I don't know if it's frozen on my end or if nobody has any questions. Let me see if I missed any. Yes, Allie, I am. Thanks. This might be a short one if nobody has any questions. Hey, Nikki. Hey, Christine. Hey, Donna. What is your favorite bag to make? Currently, it's the Aries, which is this bag right here. But it changes. As I use new patterns, it could change. So like next month, it might be a totally different bag. My all-time favorite bag to make is the Big B. It comes together really quick. It's pretty simple. It's good for a beginner sewer. So it comes together really fast, but it's still a really nice bag. Interested about card slots. Hey, Mina Love, I'm good. Card slots. I use the same plastic cutting boards, and I cut out the templates. So here's for my first fold. So this is the NCW, and there's technically three types of folds. You have your first fold, then you have a second, third, and then you go back second, third. I think that's it. You use these twice. So what I normally do, I actually have one I haven't sewn up yet. This is for a mini NCW, so I'll show you exactly what I do. Have I done purses with the Oriental theme? I don't think so. I love the Aries too. All right, let me find my pattern piece. Okay. So for the mini zip around wallet, there's essentially two sizes that you need to go back and forth with when you are doing your credit card slots. So what I do, I always make my credit card slots like a 1/2 inch wider and 1 inch longer. So I'll measure down the first measurement, and then on this same piece of pattern, I have a line right here, and that's for the second measurement. So I don't line the bottom up with that. I actually line it up to the side, to that line, and I do my other one. And then what I'll do is I'll line this up to the first line, fold that over. I usually hit it with my iron. Do the same thing here. Again, I usually hit that with my iron. Do the same thing here. Hit it with my iron. And then I will create my folds, which the measurement tells you how wide they need to be. Fold this one up. Fold this over. So that's how I do mine, and then I'll stitch along the top of each of these, and then I'll do the rest of the pattern. I can't give the measurements for patterns. This one is not my pattern, so I can't give out that measurement. Let me see if I missed any other questions. Oh, you want to see me make a card slot? I have, Frida, on a previous video in my YouTube. Am I going to do the rosy? I'm not sure. I know you don't tell us what you get pattern vinyl from, but you have any suggestions? I don't, Felicia. I would just do a search. There's a lot of different companies that print custom vinyl. I just want to let you know I don't have any questions. I'm sorry, Laura. This is just a little bit different. Do I use any type of cutting machine? No. Will you tell us where you get your printed vinyl from? No. Sorry, Diane. Does your Amazon link work in the UK? It should. Okay, I have the pattern, so I would just type them up the template size. And yeah, so you would just use the pattern to get your measurements, and then you would cut your template out of those measurements. I don't know why it wouldn't, unless these suppliers don't ship to the UK, but if they ship to your country, it should work. I'll look into that. Cheryl, so when I cut out the fabric is where I add the extra. That way I can trim it down to side, because when you're doing these folds, sometimes it can get just a little bit off. And so I like to have it nice and straight on the top and bottom and on the side. So that's why I make the fabric a 1/2 inch wider and 1 inch longer. The pattern pieces, I don't change those size. I use the measurements that are in the pattern. What material do you want to make my pattern pieces from? It is a plastic chopping mat. So these are from the dollar store. They come in 2. But Amazon also offers some of the exact same things, but they're actually longer. And I find that they're a bit cheaper, and they come with a bunch more. It doesn't tell, 15 packs. They're 17 by 11 inches. And it's linked in my Amazon storefront under my website. Can you show us again how to find the link? Sure. So if you go to my website, The top 3 dashes are the menu, so you want to click on that. Click on DIY. Oh, that's wrong. Click on DIY. It's hard to do this backwards. And then Amazon storefront. And then you want to just click this blue link right here. And it'll take you. And then it's sectioned off by tools, hardware, webbing, etc. Hey, Erica. You're welcome, Sue. I have a template for the card slots video something. Can you show us again how to find the link? Oh, yeah, Nikki. Can you make your crossbody parts on a domestic machine? Yes. Yep, you sure can. Yes, Evelyn, you sure can. Before I got a industrial sewing machine, I used my domestic sewing machine for both the wristlet as well as the crossbody. What else? I thought there would be more questions, honestly. Hi, Blanca. I'm going to move this over to my YouTube channel when I'm done. And if you think of any questions later, you can just write them in the comments and I'll come back and answer. If not, this is going to be a short live. Did you miss everything? I guess so, Erica. Do you have a better brand for the crossbody straps? So I have linked in my Amazon storefront all of the webbing that I use for my crossbody straps. Most of them. There's a couple of them that I get from a different supplier that I can't obviously link. Can I talk about my machine? I spoiled you with my sewing. I know, Coral. This is a Juki 1181. It's an industrial sewing machine. It is not good for lightweight fabrics. It is best used for thicker fabrics like vinyl. I haven't tried leather yet. I'm waiting on doing that. For wristlets, if you use a cotton exterior with interface. So it really depends on how thick you want it. If you want the wristlet really thin and lightweight, you don't have to put any interfacing on it at all. The thing about interfacing is that you can actually double layer interfacing, hey Tammy, to make it thicker. So if you want something that has a little bit of structure, you may want to use a Pellon 911. You could use a Pellon SF 101. If you want something a little bit thicker and more rigid, meaning that it has more structure and it's not as bendable, you can use like a Pellon 808 or 809. That'll make it a little bit thicker. Got my first order of hardware. Country Brook and a very, yeah, Country Brook Design. I love their hardware. I get a lot of my hardware from there. Do you ever make lunch or makeup bags? I used to do makeup bags. I don't anymore, but I can for a custom order. The machine I use for lighter fabrics is a Juki Exceed Quilting Pro. Hey, Tammy. All of your people aren't here. Yeah. Okay. You're welcome. You didn't miss it, Erica. We're not doing any sewing today. Today was supposed to be a Q&A, and I thought that I would have more content or stuff to go over, but I guess I don't. So I just kind of opened it up for questions. If anybody wants to know where I get anything, how I do anything, I'm happy to answer. Usually I have a million questions while you're sewing. I know. Don't worry about it. Like I said, if you think about something later on, this will be over on my YouTube channel. You can ask over there. I feel like I caught everybody off guard. Hey, Arlene. What do you think about a cylinder arm for bag making? I've personally never used one. I have considered buying one, and then I was like, do I really need it? They're really expensive. So, I mean, if you got the money, why not have another machine around? I don't think that I would use it that often in place of like something like this. But I know a lot of people are looking at a cylinder arm. There's certain styles of bags that you would use that it would make it easier to sew. I don't think any of my items that I sew, it would be beneficial for me. Curious if you've ever made this. Oh, comparison. I haven't made that pattern. I'm sorry. The thread that I use is Gutermann. It's a Mara 70. I'll show you. So that is the brand. Oh yeah, focus. It'll focus in just a second. See how it says 70? That's MARA 70. So the pattern vinyl is the only question that I don't answer, but I'm happy to answer anything else. I know that most people want that answer. Just about to ask about thread. Yeah. And then my bobbin cases, I went over that earlier. I get these from Amazon. They're linked in my storefront. They hold 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5, 25. So 5 rows of 5. What's the pattern called for the zip around wallet? It's called the Classic Zip Around Wallet, and it's by Maggie 55. Sewing room tour. One day. It's not as neat as I would like it. I actually did some clothes sewing over the weekend. I made these shorts that I'm wearing. Hello. So everything is not where it's supposed to be. Because, oh, thank you. Thanks, Lavada. So things are kind of moved around that aren't normally there because I had to break out my serger. A friend of mine gave me this serger, gosh, 10 years ago, and I've never opened it up. I opened it up once and then I broke the needle because I had my fabric pinned together and I was sewing over the pins because I didn't know you couldn't sew over. So I broke the needle. I never replaced them and I never used that serger again. So I got some stuff to replace it, ordered some thread, got it out of the box. And when I tell you this thing is old, like I don't know when it was made, but the instruction book comes with a VHS tape. That's how old it is. How do I store my vinyl? So I have a couple of different ways. Be creative crafting. I have a stand and it has long rolls on it or long bars on it that I put my rolls on. I've been trying to find out where I purchased that from. It's an industrial. I know I spent at least $500. It may have been $600. So for my solid vinyl, because I buy that in bulk and I buy so much of it, I use that industrial stand. And I want to say there's like 5 rolls on each side. And then for my printed vinyl and my work in progress or work in process, I have this like shoe organizer. Uh-oh. This top one broke, which is why it's sitting over here on the table. So I use this shoe organizer. It has a really lightweight material. And so I use these and I separate. So like for my Becca vinyl, my printed, for my Big B printed, I get them printed in different sizes. And so I have one of these and on each row, I store my printed vinyl by style. So there'll be multiple layers of this style bag and different prints. There'll be multiple wallet vinyl on this one. And then I actually have it stacked up. I want to say like 8 or 9 of these tall. Uh-oh. Okay, let me see what I missed. Thanks, Nina. Do you know how to work with seamless patterns for your printable vinyl? Yeah, I just don't go over my process on my printed vinyl. I don't talk about that process of my business. I'll take a pair of shorts. Not where you order from, but prep. Yeah, I think you're talking about how to like create the patterns on the computer to upload them to have them printed. I don't talk about that part of that process. Zippers. So I use 2 types of zippers. I use a number 3 and I use a number 5. A number 3, let's see. My number 3 zippers I usually use for my zipper pockets, like on the inside of my bags. I buy 9-inch because all of my pockets are either 9 inches or smaller. I also use them for the interior pocket for like my wallets. I want to say that's a lot smaller than 9 inches. So I use 9-inch number 3 zippers. I get those from Wawak, W-A-W-A-K. And then for my number 5 zippers, which are like these, the ones to my bags, I normally buy those by the yard. I have been buying them by the yard for the last couple of months. And I also get those from Wawak, W-A-W-A-K. So I buy the zipper by the yard and then I buy the zipper pulls from there. What got me into sewing bags? I think it was just a progression, Nancy. I started by sewing clothes and then I just kind of tried different things. Yeah, VHS. Probably the 80s. Would you be open to showing cutting room? Yeah. Not right now, but yes, I will. You have a serger that came. This one is called a Simplicity Frontier. Somebody look it up for me. The model number is SL390. SL390. I'm interested to see when it was made. Where can I find a good place to order nameplates? So I just did a video on this. It is in my TikTok. So if you go to my TikTok, and I want to say it's like the 4th video from the top, I'm wearing a blue shirt in the front picture. I'm wearing a blue shirt with a box, and I show you guys where I get my name tags from. KK. I love to see the industrial stand. My vinyl gets creases. Yeah, I'll show it one of these days. That's okay, Heart to Heart Creations, don't worry. I had a panel printed. What's a good backpack pattern? So the backpack pattern that I use a lot is the Denver by Swoon. Do you have a pattern for the red or white paw print bag? That is called the Aries, and it is by Knotted Thread Co. Send your email asking if you still made the bowler bag. Debbie, I saw that email. I haven't had a chance to respond yet. I haven't made it in a really long time. I can. That would be a custom order request. Hey, Natalie. This will be on YouTube, Tara. I'm going to say about it. Do clothing custom. I don't want to make a bag. Try it. It's just really a different type of sewing. So with clothes, a lot of clothes, you would serge the edges, fold them over, and then sew down. It's not like that with sewing bags. You normally have a total finished interior and then a finished exterior. So the way that you sew things together is a bit different, but really it's just about learning the techniques, like adding a closure to the bag, adding a zipper to the bag. If you know how to sew a zipper onto clothes, it's a little bit different, but I mean, if you're comfortable with sewing so I mean, it's the same with sewing clothes and sewing bags. There's just minor tweaks to different techniques. Did you think about making new phone slings? No, to be honest with you, I haven't thought about it. Renee, what pattern are you talking about? How long does it take you to design a new pattern? Where do you get your inspiration from? So, I was actually thinking about this over the weekend because I had a pattern that I came out with like at least 6 years ago. So I was going back through my Facebook page where I first posted that pattern that I created, and I took some screenshots to see if I could recreate it because I haven't sewn that pattern in at least 5 years. And I was thinking, like, man, back then when I first started sewing, I actually came out, all these patterns that I've released, the Big Bead, the Becca, all of those, I created those like 5 to 8 years ago. I haven't created any new patterns recently. Is that true? I think that's true. All the patterns that I've released, I've been using them for years and years. So, let me see if I can show you something. I put my new one. Oh, yeah, I do. So over the last couple of weeks, contemplating a new pattern that I want to put out, I just kind of think about what I wanted to. So there's a couple of questions that I ask myself before I sit down and start drafting out a pattern. What skill level do I want it? Do I want it super advanced where I add all these extra details, or do I want to make it a little bit more basic? And that really depends on my audience. So if I want it super detailed, it's going to be for a limited amount of people who are already advanced in making bags. If I want it beginner friendly, way more people would be willing to use the pattern. That's the first thing that I think of. The second thing I think of is how I want it constructed. So do I want it all vinyl? Do I want it vinyl with cotton? Do I want people to be able to use cotton for this pattern? And designing or drafting a pattern, you just have to kind of make a list, ask yourself a whole bunch of questions, answer those questions, and then you should start drafting a pattern. So here's kind of a rough sketch of something that I did over the weekend. But over the last couple of weeks, I've been trying to think about a new pattern to come out with. So for example, this is just a vinyl change purse, and it's sewed a little bit differently than my normal change purses are. My normal change purses are lined. This one is not lined. It has just the vinyl on the interior, and it's super simple. So anybody who knows basic sewing would be able to make this. This would not be able to be made with cotton though, as a replacement for the exterior, because it has a raw edge to it. But I thought it was a really cute, fun, quick project. So this might be coming soon, who knows? This one was a little bit more complex. I wanted something where you can add a cell phone. So what I did is I made a double side pocket. When you open it up, you have one pocket over here, and then you have another section over here. And then the way that I wanted to do the bottom, which is essentially this inside underneath, you be able to stick a phone in here and be able to use it without having to close the bottom. So that's kind of where I'm stuck on with this. Do I want a closure on the bottom? Do I not want a closure on the bottom? So this is something else. And whenever I do like my drafting for new patterns, I just use solid material. This, you would be able to use cotton as both the exterior. You can use cotton for the exterior just like you can this vinyl. This is one that I've made, this pattern I made years and years ago. It has one of these bar clasp closures, and then on one side you have a slip pocket that will fit a phone. So it fits a phone, and then there's also an ID holder, an ID window on one side, and then on the other side you have credit card pockets. I showed this to my husband and he was like, oh, that reminds me of like an old lady's purse. But I've made it where the outside has vinyl, and I just wanted to duplicate it and see if I can do it with a cotton, and I can. There's a couple of things I want to change about this, but I'm probably going to release this as a pattern. This was just another simple little wallet that I wanted to make with one of those clear window ID holders. I haven't decided on the closure yet, which is why I just have it clipped shut. And when you open it up, it's just one little section. So I know some people ask for like smaller, thinner wallets. So I wanted to come up with a couple of different options. So these are all patterns that I've created over the last few weeks. This pattern I created years and years ago. I just haven't sat down and write the pattern. Sitting down and actually writing out a pattern, it can take anywhere from a week to 2 weeks, and then you have to have people test your pattern. So what I normally do is I normally do a video tutorial for all of my patterns. So for some of my testers, I will send them just the link to the video to see if they can recreate the pattern using just those steps. And then some of my pattern testers, I send just the step-by-step directions and have them make the pattern without the video, just to make sure that it can be made using either or. So the testing phase and the writing of the pattern takes a lot. Making these, I can sit down and draft something up in a couple minutes. So So I know that was a lot of questions to just patterns. Okay. When is your next pattern coming out? I'm not sure. Do you put anything on the bottom to keep the shape? I normally use Peltex on the bottom of all of my bags. Thanks, KK. Looking at your vinyl. Pamela, are you talking about my solid vinyl or my pattern vinyl? I don't talk about my pattern vinyl. Hey, Georgina. Okay, my industrial jerky do back soon. Oh, that's so exciting, Sam. Hey, Lisa. What rivet size do you use? Post the link. So I have these linked in my Amazon storefront. So if you go here, click on DIY in the menu and then click on Amazon storefront, it'll take you over to where I buy my rivets. I have both my medium and my large tagged in there. Christine. Can't find one, but I mean, yeah, just a little bag with the horses. That's an Aries, yes. This right here is an Aries. Wow, Pony Designs. Can you do 2 for... Yeah, I can. I can. But it kind of makes it a little bit more complicated because while you're writing out the instructions for the beginner, you have to be like, stop here and go here if you're making this version. And then once you get here, you have to direct them back to where to start here. And it can get a little confusing. I think the majority of you are confident beginners. You wouldn't, I mean, there's a lot of beginners, Levada. I just got here, so if you already answered, but where do you get your hardware? So I've linked in my, I'm sure I have 28 new messages that I'm going through. I have it linked in my website, my Amazon storefront, where a lot of my hardware I get from there is linked. I told our chief. Got my person sheet. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks, Amanda. Yeah, Frida, it's going to be released. I'm just not sure. I need the last one. Do I use welded hardware? Yes, always. Except for my chain crossbody straps that I just started using. Those are not welded, and I specifically wanted those because I want to be able to open up one of those chains and add a vinyl top to it. You know how sometimes you see chain straps where on the very top there's a piece of vinyl? I want to start doing that. I'm not sure with what bag style yet. So that is the only hardware that I have that is not welded. Yes, Holly, much better. Thanks, Sarah. Bring that little wallet pattern out. Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy, Lavada. Picture a phone, sling, somebody. Okay, thanks, Renee. Hi, Viviana. Curious about if you've ever used cork. No, I've never used cork. I've heard some mixed opinions about it because most cork is a natural wood. It's actually a really interesting process. You should just YouTube like how they use trees to turn into cork. But because it's a natural product, I've heard of it breaking, especially like on your seams that are folded. So I've never really been confident enough in cork to use it. That's my personal opinion. Clear vinyl outside window. Is there a closure to keep? Yeah. Yeah. Where is it? It's actually stitched in place. So this row of stitching that's closest to the vinyl is actually stitched in place. So it will not fall out. It's sewn in there. Hey Dawn. Sorry, Holly, I was so far back. I see you. Solid. I mean, otherwise I'm looking for one that's good quality. Yeah, Pamela, I'm sorry I don't talk about that, my printed vinyl. It's just a topic I don't cover. I teach someone to teach them love to be a tester. Okay, thanks, Sarah. How do you iron the Peltex to the vinyl? So I actually have a video on this. If you go to my TikTok, I can't remember what I'm wearing in the little picture, but it says cutting and interfacing, and I show you my cutting table and how I cut and how I interface my Peltex. I caught you live finally. Hey Vicky. What did I miss? I do have passport wallets. Yep, they're on my website. Bounce that off. Honey, on my FFP and got hooked. Oh, thanks, Amber. It's like Bruno, we don't talk about it. Yeah. Okay, I think I caught up on all my questions. Sorry, you guys. I was answering a question from when you guys were writing them in from before. So I wasn't ignoring you. I was just trying to answer. I think that pattern question was just a long answer. Thank you, Renee, for subscribing. Okay, what else? I feel like I got winded. It's a trade secret. It is. But I mean, I'm not the only one. Like, my supplier is not the only one that does it. There's literally many people that print custom vinyl. You just have to do your own research. It took me years to find a supplier and thousands of dollars because I tried a lot of different suppliers that do them because there are a lot of them. So what I like in printed vinyl, the backing, the thickness, that's all my personal preference. So you need to put in the work and find what you like the best. So I'm not saying that to be mean. I think you guys know me well enough to know that I'm not a mean person just naturally, but you have to put in the work to find what works for you. I know you don't. You didn't understand my question. I'm sorry, Pamela. Have you considered making badge wallets? Yes. Thanks, Holly. I'm glad you like the wallet. It does take a long time to get someone you trust to print your vinyl. That is a accurate statement. And it's expensive, so you want to find somebody that you trust. So my supplier, you might use somebody else and like that one better. So just, well, I mean, I wouldn't call it being a copycat. That's not my motivation for not telling you guys. It's just that you got to do your own work and find what works for you. Does it matter using metal or plastic? I use vinyl. Not vinyl, what are they called? They're not called vinyl. Nylon zippers. But you can use metal. My solid color vinyl I get from marinevinylfabric.com. Thanks, Heart to Heart Creations. I was stuck for a second. It's vinyl, or nylon. Nylon zippers. I do have some metal ones. I've never sewn. I have sewn over one. You can't sew over a metal zipper. You can sew over a nylon one. So I think that's why I like using the nylon ones better, just because it's a lot faster. I don't have to sit there and cut it to make sure I don't sew over it. Excuse me. I got 20 minutes left if anybody else has a question. It's not just you, says my business. Don't give out their vendors. Yeah. So when it comes to vinyl, there's a specific weight you prefer. My all-time preference is marine grade vinyl. Ellie? Yeah. 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 You may love it, you may hate it. So I tell you guys what I use and then go out into the world and be free. Try it. See if you like it. If you don't, try something else. Nina, I haven't made anything. Today was just a Q&A. What is the stiff product you use for notebook covers? I don't use anything stiff for the notebook covers. It's 2 layers of vinyl and then another layer of vinyl for the pocket. So just the amount of layers on the vinyl makes it a little thicker. Oh, no problem, Sarah. Yeah, Pammy, it's my favorite too. What else? Yeah, I like marine grade vinyl because it's usually made for like seating on like a boat or chairs on like a boat. It's usually sun resistant, so it doesn't fade, and it has a lot of qualities that keeps it a little bit stronger than just regular vinyl. Have you ever had a bad batch of vinyl? No. Basic Bougie is coming. Yeah, it's very durable. Patterns, not know if I'm ready to sell yet. Just keep practicing. I don't use foam. on anything. Even if I purchase a pattern from somebody and in the directions they say to use foam, I don't use foam. I don't like foam. Mold resistant, yeah. And it's usually easy to wipe off too, because it's outside around water and fish and all kinds of stuff, and it usually gets dirty. I have used WPC waterproof canvas for linings. I don't like it. I think that it's too thick. And yeah, I think it's too thick. As a vendor, I once got caught in downpour. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So the family, but that's the extent. Yeah, just keep practicing. I don't really use anything in place of foam. Foam, from what I gather, is usually when you're making a bag and using a cotton for the exterior. So all of the exteriors of my bags are vinyl, and I think that they're thick enough and they stand up enough for themselves. Foam just adds structure. So if you're using cotton, it's not going to stand up. Foam will help that cotton stand up. I don't know. I mean, unless you want a super stiff bag, I don't know why you would use foam on vinyl, because it usually stands up by itself. Free. Would you make a denim wallet or purse? Yeah, if it was a custom. It paused when you answered my question. Natalie, did you hear me? What did you say it's best for make? Stockpile to sell. Would you say it's best to make opens and stockpile to sell, or wait and get? If you're just starting out, you're going to want to have some inventory on hand, because not a lot of people are going to trust you enough to buy your products unless they can see what you've already made. So I would say to start a track record, make a lot of products, maybe not a lot, but enough of different types of products to show people what you're capable of. And then you can start getting custom orders. With cotton backpack, yeah, foam, that's what it's usually used for. I use it when I cook to make it puffy. How do you match the pattern vinyl on the purse with the pocket in the front? It looks perfect. It's just the way that I have it printed. I recently used a bouncy foam instead of foam. My accordion wallet's stiff. If you're talking about this zip around wallet, it has craft text, 2 layers of craft text on the inside, and that makes it stiff. I will say, let me take that back. I used foam one time on vinyl, and it was to make a quilting effect. So I haven't finished this. This was a pattern that I started to work on, and I just kind of set it aside. But I used foam to quilt this. So it's quilted, and then there's like a full zipper pocket. The zipper pocket is the length and width of the outside. But I did use foam for that. Now I think that gives it a really pretty effect. So here's the regular vinyl. Here's what it looks like with foam and stitched. I haven't finished it because I'm not really sure how I want it. If I want a bottom or if I want to gusset. You guys hear that? That's our tsunami warning. It comes the 1st of every month. Yeah, that would be pretty with the denim. Really pretty. Yeah, it's our tsunami warning. They test it every month on the 1st. Yeah, it's planned. It usually catches me off guard when I first hear it, and then I'm like, oh, okay, it's the 1st. I'm sure you do, Tammy. It doesn't go on for much longer. All right, any other questions? So do you think you'll ever make leather purse? Yes. Yes, I will absolutely make a leather purse. Yes. When? I don't know. I need to just practice more. Craft text. Yeah. And I actually have it linked. It's craft with a K, and I have it linked in my Amazon storefront. You can buy it by I buy it by 10 yards. 10 yards, but so I have a link for 10 yards and then I have it linked for 1.5 yards, and the price is substantially different. Mother is tough. At least you know if something happened, you'll be notified. Yeah. You know what's crazy is that my husband, I don't know why we haven't had this conversation before, but a couple of nights ago we were sitting on the couch watching TV, and I think it was, what was the name of the movie? The Silent Room. I think it's pretty new. It just came out. There were many of these movies before, and this was like the very start of it. I can't think of what it's called. It should be in my Amazon history because we had to pay for it. Un momento. Oh, it's not there. Anyways, Quiet Room. Yep, Quiet Room, the first part. And he was like, if something happens, I'll text you. And he gave me the panic word. And he was like, if you get this text from me, just pack a bag and be ready to go. And I was like, oh my gosh, do I call you back? Do I call my mom? What do I do with the dogs? The cutting mats. No, not the cutting mats. Because I didn't get mine from Amazon. I got mine from Joann. Yes, Sarah Meller, I did teach myself. My family says I should have a website, but I'm unsure. It really depends, Pammy. It really depends on if you have an established following. If you have an established following, I would say, yeah, get a website. You are responsible for driving traffic to your website. Did you say earlier? Oh, I do some shopping from your store. You're welcome, Sam. Go ahead, hit my first. Oh, yay, Natalie. Which pattern are you doing? Quiet. Will you give a good heads up if when? Yes. Basic Bougie, I will. And all of my lives, I've been posting them on my YouTube. So if you miss my live, or if you can't stay for the whole thing, you can rewatch it on my YouTube page, which is also linked in my TikTok profile. If you click that, go under the follow button, there's an Instagram. Click on that. It'll give you my Instagram and it'll give you my YouTube link. A Quiet Place. Sorry, the ones you use for the templates. Yeah, that's linked on my storefront. They are plastic cutting boards. Yes, I know, Tammy, right in the center. Gotta take the pups. Oh, you're welcome, Georgina. Oh, to the mini zipper. Oh, nice. Oh, you ordered the mini zipper on wallet. Oh, with the Midnight Owl. I love that pattern. You have to make a hair case for the small bugs. Yes. That's a good one, Natalie. Maybe text you the panic where you go on TikTok. Probably not. I do sell my patterns. They're listed on my website under DIY. Yes, I agree, Pammy. I do ship to the UK. Yep. Okay. Thanks, Mama D. Okay, we got a lot of good questions in. I think I'll give you guys more of a notice the next time we do this so we can have more questions. Class first. Will do. I love it too. Will you be making the wallet again? I want to watch. I'm not sure, but if you go to my YouTube, it's just butter_bags. You can watch the replay of me making it. So you don't have to wait for me. I'm coming on live again on Tuesday. Thanks, Pammy. If you would sell a wallet pattern, I would. Oh, thanks, Natalie. I know, right? For special orders on the group. Yes, it is. It's pinned in the featured post in my Facebook group. I still got a couple more minutes. Thanks, Savada. I enjoyed it too. I feel like I probably should have came more prepared. Thank you, guys. What's the name of the bag with the paw prints? This one is the Aries crossbody bag. If you're looking for the pattern, it's by Knotted Threads Co. If you're looking to purchase this actual bag, it's available on my website. has a card pocket on one side. Bye, Heart to Heart Creations. My rivet press I got from Gold Star Sewing. Can't wait till Tuesday. Bye, Vicky. Thanks for coming. Okay, so I guess I'm going to jump off and I will see you guys again on Tuesday. I don't see the DIY tag in your profile. Yeah, that's on my website. So if you go to my profile, if you go to my TikTok profile, right underneath the follow button is a link to my website. If you click on that, it'll take you right to my website. And then in the, where am I? Hold on a second. So from my website, butterbags.com, if you click on this 3 dash, you'll see DIY right here. And it has my Amazon storefront, and then it also has my digital patterns. So if you click here, here are all the patterns that I've created that I sell. You're gonna have any more Hawaiian prints made? That was just a limited time. So whatever's left on my website with the Hawaiian prints is available for sale. You can custom order with those prints. All right, I'm gonna jump off. I hope you guys have a great weekend and I will see you on Tuesday. Bye.